I bet. Yeah, you know, like my little brother's downstairs anyway, so I kind of gotta watch my mouth.
Okay.
But yeah, man, yo, I was looking at the topic. So like, yo, explain this first one to me. You guys want to explain my man crush?
Bro, well, that's the way we start the podcast right there.
Yeah,
Everyone,
bro, I'm down.
this is Liam Mendes, one of Mark's good friends, one of the biggest fans of the podcast. And
Yes,
as Mark tells me, and as I see, a big fan of me. That's what Mark said.
Yes, sir, bro. Dude, I'm telling you guys, man, I watch this guy, Mitch. I watch him. I watch his videos. I look at the views on your videos, and every time this guy's popping, man, I'm telling you, you have to take advantage of the man's looks.
What is it about Mitch that's so special, though?
Bro, dude, no cap. Like, okay, I'm watching the videos, Mark, and like the way he brings the energy in those like reels, like, bro, reels are popping right now. Reels are absolutely popping. That's the fastest way to grow on Instagram, man. And I'm telling you, those videos that he's making in particular are blowing up, bro. I'm telling you.
Why was this guy not on the podcast earlier?
This is going straight to Mitch's head. This is going straight to Mitch's head now. He's gonna be
we're gonna hear about this for the next 5 years. He'd be like,
oh, 100%.
Reels. I told you about the reels. What's going on with
reels,
bro, man?
Dude, you don't even understand, man. Like I'm talking to my girl, man. I'm trying to hook Mitch up, bro. Like I'm doing everything I can, bro. Like you don't understand. Bro, I show one of my friends him the other day. I'm like, yo, this is Mitch, bro. Like I barely know the guy, but like, come on, he's good looking.
Bro, that's like the funniest stuff though. Like you are the biggest hype man, and this is the first time I've ever had a conversation with you, which is absolutely dope, man. I can't wait when this shit's all over to actually meet up.
Dude. I was telling Mark, man, like, bro, after COVID, man, like we're gonna turn up wherever it is. We gotta make it happen. All boys gotta touch, man. Like touch London, touch wherever, Mississauga, bro. Like we gotta do something for sure.
We need a Project X type party.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
everyone in the streets, houses on fire, shut down party.
Oh yeah, bro. After COVID, man, like the way that I see it is like, bro, people are like trapped animals right now. Like I don't know what happened with our vaccination, but like from the looks of it, we're probably like one of the like strictest places in the world in terms of like the COVID policies, and it just makes no sense, man. It should not be the case. Like especially where we're at right now. Like I don't get it. I don't get it. At least
no, I think like recently this can be aired in a week, but a week later, but Ford gave out the second dose plan, which gives us the doses in like beginning of August.
Perfect. Yeah, like I don't know. Like the thing is like my dad's a pharmacist, and like the one thing that he's saying is like the issue is more so the fact that, you know, we get our first shot, but the waiting time in between is way further than the recommended time is. And that's like if you're let's say like your pharmacist prescribes you like medication that you're supposed to take every day, and you take that once a week, like there's still going to be an issue with the like how effective the vaccine is going to be, even if we get it in August. That's more so the issue. So like
we're the only country waiting like 3 months in between doses.
Yeah, man, it's very frustrating, and I know a lot of people are struggling mentally. So like I think the biggest thing right now, like that I've been trying to do is just, man, like reach out to whoever you can and just make sure they're okay, you know.
100%.
So easy. 100%. So easy.
Because we're not caged animals at the end of the day, and we got to be out there interacting with others, and that's what we're here to do.
Yo, Mark, before you start, man, are we matching today? Like,
yo, bro, of course, chains up. Vamos!
I'll put mine away. So
all right,
got your chain out, okay? I'll do that.
Someone didn't give me the dress code. Very disappointed that you guys didn't tell me we were going white with a chain.
Exactly. But Liam, obviously you got the Raptors hat going. You got the good intentions. You got the nav going. Yeah. And you're obviously a stan of Mitch. And it was sort of occurring to me throughout this when I was getting you on. I was watching the playoffs that there was something wrong. And I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
I was reading up a tweet. And there was a tweet, I think I maybe liked it on Twitter. Don't know why. And it said, it was a picture of Trae Young. And you know that picture of Trae Young, and he's behind, all the Knicks fans are there after the guy spit on him. And he's like smiling at the crowd. And the guy said, and then he said, Trae Young, to quote him, let's run that shit back in the A. And obviously with NBA, NHL, NFL, everybody loves those sports and they like to watch, interact on Twitter, Instagram, wherever. But something that I found out, and that was said in the tweet, is that it's more, we're fans of players now. We're not fans of the teams anymore. Obviously, there's a select few. Raptors fans, I feel a community. Knicks fans, I feel a community. There's certain communities, but what I really want to get back into, just my opinion, is camaraderie within the fan base. It seems like if you're a Lakers fan, it's like, are you a LeBron fan? Are you an AD fan? Do you like Kuzma? Like, there's a lot of different things going on. So Liam, I want to get your thoughts. How are some ways that maybe we can get that thing back in sports? Is it just like fans coming together, or what do you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the main issue here, like especially in sport right now, is just the fact, like in my opinion, personally, the biggest way the NBA screwed up last year, and this is just completely my opinion, like don't get it twisted, like politically, what they were standing for is such a good cause, but that just destroyed their ratings, like absolutely destroyed their ratings. You can be political off the court individually as a player, but the way that the fan base even looks at the NBA now is way more minimal and way less passionate than it used to be. If you look at like soccer clubs in Italy and stuff, they're not just cheering for one player, they're cheering for the whole team. Exactly. So now what's happened is players have taken political stances and the league is split up, and now you cheer for the player based on their political view as well as how they play. So now when you look at a team itself, you're not necessarily cheering for the team. You're cheering for the player who, one, shares the same political view as you, and two, plays the way that you like to enjoy, like the way you like want to see them play. So that's the biggest issue that I see with the league right now, especially the NBA. Don't get it twisted though. Man, if the Raptors had made the playoffs, all of Toronto would be cheering for the Raptors. Like, that's just how it is, you know?
Go Mitch, go ahead.
I was just saying that is I didn't even think of that. When I thought of this question, the first thing that came to my mind was the fact that we cheer for the player because we're in a league where no one's loyal to a team. You go back to the Bulls days, you go back to like old school basketball. You had a team, you cheered for the Lakers because you knew Kobe was going to be there. So you cheered for the Lakers. You never cheered for Kobe or Shaq. You cheered for the Lakers. Now with everyone flipping, creating super teams, you don't know where they're going to be. And I think plus your point there, I think that makes sense as well. But I think you're right too. At the end of the day, if you're from the hometown of whatever team it is, you're going to cheer for the team. But I think anything outside, it is just based off the players.
Yeah, players.
That's it.
One thing that I absolutely can't stand, and I don't know if you guys are this case, but one thing I can't stand is when you live in a city that has, a sports team. Like, we live in Toronto, and people cheer for another team. If you live in Toronto and you like hockey, you're cheering for the Leafs. You can't go cheering for Montreal or the Rangers or the Blackhawks. If you live in Toronto, you should be cheering for the Raptors above all. And I think a real reason why people don't is kind of like what Mitch was saying with the whole super teams thing, is that like ownership and the management of these teams, it feels like a lot of them don't value the fans as much. Like Isaiah Thomas in Boston was one of the most popular players at that time for that franchise, and they traded him away like it was nothing. So it almost another guy. Like, it's almost like they don't value the fans to an extent. So fans are like, well, why should we value you as a team when we want to back the players?
Yeah, I agree. No, go ahead, Mark.
People complain about it, and then they say, oh, why is the NBA so soft nowadays? The games aren't even lit. Like, you watch a playoff game, I get it's COVID, but even before that, 2 years ago, they were saying, oh, these playoff games looks dead. Where are the fans? Where's the interaction? They want malice in the palace. But to have that, you have to have everybody coming together. Like you said, the Italy thing, Spain, England, teams like that, Manchester United, Liverpool, those guys will you up if you against the team, bro. Here, if one guy talks against the Raptors, it's like, oh my God, what's going on? Everybody's throwing a hissy fit on Twitter, on Instagram. They're not going to the stadium. You're not protesting. Who's the last American team that protested something? I want you to try and think. I don't even know a team that protested anything. They just say whatever the league says. I guess you're okay with it. You know what I mean? So it just bothers me. And I saw that on Twitter, and I was like, Liam's a passionate guy. You understand?
Yeah. No, I get it, man. Like the main issue too, like another huge issue with the NBA, like that Mitch kind of touched on, is just more so the fact that like the way that the league is right now and the way even like the cap space works and everything, it's so botched up. Like if you look at that trade a few years ago where like, I swear Chris Paul or somebody was trying to get onto the Lakers, bro, that trade, David Stern denied that trade. Now they've become so much more lenient with these trades, man. Like if you like, people ultimately at the end of the day cheer for the winner, cheer for who's winning.
The one thing I hate too about like fan base of a city, I was telling Frankie this, and Mark, I forget if I told you this too, Mark, but I went to like a fair from one of my jobs, and there's parents, it's kids, like it's a kids fair for like a camp thing. And and it was during the Raptors championship run. And you know, when parents don't know each other, like their kids know each other, but parents don't, it's like small talk conversation. They literally started the conversation. I heard it like from my ear. They're like, so basketball. Because that was just the talk. Like they wanted just to talk about like, oh, basketball, the Raptors, and they have no idea what they're talking about, but that's what they're using. Like people jump on that, which I honestly don't like. I don't like when like people jump on teams. Like me, I'm not jumping on the Leafs. I'm not like a big hockey guy. Do I watch the game? I'll watch the game, but I'm not going to be saying I'm a fan or like trying to start conversations or anything. Like Frankie, I was watching the game yesterday with Frankie. I was just sitting there watching it.
But here's the thing is that I appreciate it because when the Raptors won, it's not like there's, not everyone there that was watching those games are still watching it now, but it's the whole thing, that feeling of we're a part of a city, we're the North, we represent this thing, being the only Canadian team. We got to rally together as a city. And, big cities do that. New York does that. Chicago does that around their teams. Whichever team is good, they will rally around that team. And I think that Toronto as a city, and I've seen it with, when the Jays were good, everyone was watching the Jays. When the Raptors were good, everyone was watching the Raptors. When the Leafs are good, you see more people start to watch the Leafs. And I think as a city, you got to rally around those teams. Yeah. And that's what really drives it.
But then that goes to the point too of like choosing a favorite player outside your hometown team, because like you said, what you just said was every time the team was winning, they got their fan base. So they're not winning, which again, Toronto's like in the last maybe 7 years, Toronto sports have been winning a lot, and we kind of been spoiled a bit. But before then, there wasn't much winning, so people had other teams to cheer for as well.
It's what's trending. It's just people hopping on to the new trend. Yeah, liking the Raptors in 2019 was the trend. Liking Kawhi was trendy. Everyone was posting a shot, even if they never watched. Even if they didn't watch the game, I'm sure they were posting a shot.
Kawhi messed up. He should have rode that trend a lot longer than he should have. Like, he really had something going. Like King of the North. I know, like you go back. I understand going back home. I get it. Yeah. You know what? You're an LA guy. You want to go back to your team. You want to be back in the spot. You want to be in the US. I get it. LA is beautiful. It's your home. I get it. But I think he could have had a little bit better success-wise, marketing-wise as well, as like King of the North, King of Canada, making Canadian basketball a lot bigger. Like, Vince Carter got his name for bringing like attention to Toronto basketball.
You got to run it back. If you win with a team, you owe it to the team, to yourself, to the fans, to at least have one more year running it back with that core.
Not running it back. I think it's the first one ever you're running back.
Maybe I gotta go get a Raptors tattoo on my arm,
bro. Okay. Tattoos. Because I was hanging out with Frankie yesterday, and we were talking about this. Are any of you guys gonna get tattoos, or do you have tattoos?
I have none right now. No.
Are you guys gonna get any?
Intense.
I plan on it.
Frankie and I are talking. We're planning on, because we'll be heading downtown soon. First day, like first official day downtown. We're both going to get a tattoo if it's open. Getting our tattoo same day.
Bro, I'm gonna keep your word for that. I'm gonna check in on you.
You should. No, you should. But we're talking about like. I want to talk about the meaning behind tattoo, because a lot of people have meaning behind it, or it's made up meaning. Or they just like, oh, it's cool, and they put it on. Like, I don't get why they just do that. Like, why?
Well, speaking based off of friends that have tattoos, I know a lot of friends have like sleeves and stuff like that. I think this first reason you're gonna get it. First reason most people get a tattoo is because it means something to them, as you said. So that's one of the first ones. Second reason, it looks cool. If you have a sleeve or a half sleeve, a full sleeve, and let's just say you're doing something, it's going to give a little bit more intrigue. Now, what's on your sleeve, it's going to make it or break it. You know what I mean? Mainly if it's a guy, it's usually a lion, a cross, fire,
a rose,
leaves, roses. Like, those are the main cruxes of what you're going to get. But with tattoos in general, it's just people of older generations, like Nono, it's sort of taboo. And I don't even know how that's still maintained to this day, but it's just how it is. And it's sort of weird to look at people that are older and have tattoos. They're like, I wonder what type of scrutiny they went through when they had the tattoos back then. Probably were looked at as a felon.
or Mark, you can get a big tiger on your chest jumping through a hoop. Is that right, Frankie?
Yeah, that's absolutely ridiculous. I'm sorry.
But Mitch, considering you're a single guy here, I know Liam has a girlfriend as well at home. Me, Frankie.
Also, I'm a single guy again in a group. Great.
I was like always a single guy.
I know. It just
all right. Sorry, go Mark. Go.
So a girl comes in looking like she has bare tattoos. Let's say she's tatted from neck to thing. over here, right?
Full body.
Full body tattoo.
Full body. Geez.
Sexy or not for you? Be honest.
Not full body. Not to me. Not full body. You're talking about like head, like here.
Yeah, bro. Like, is it going up to the neck? Like,
Yeah, like
I'd say like because there's some girls that they could pull it off.
like some girls can't. I'm not saying, but those are some very special girls. You know, those are ones that you can like without the tattoos. They're 10 out of 10. You know, that's kind of thing. You know, but here's the thing: tattoo on a girl does make her hotter. 100%.
It does.
Same thing when girls say about guys. Even he has like something here on his leg, whatever. It does make the person hotter. That's what people. That's what they say, and I agree with them with that topic as well. But a full body, no. I'm sorry.
Liam, is there something against the tattoos for you, or is it just the fact that you just don't want one?
No, not at all, man. Dude, my girlfriend has a tattoo, and like I think it's sick. Like personally, like that's the reason that I would want to get one. But like also, like you said, like there's a huge like stigma around it about like, oh, like it makes you like look a certain way and makes you like portray yourself in like a negative way. That's kind of what my parents kind of like, that's their message to me. But like me personally, seeing the way it is, like it's now becoming a huge form of art. Like people like respect, and like when you look at a tattoo, it's like people like are looking at your tattoo, which is why you can't just get like Squidward tatted on your leg anymore. Like people are looking at that thing in depth, and like you got to have some cool art. So like at the same time, if I were to get something, placement is a huge thing. Where on my body it's going to be, because like ultimately I can't have it on my hands or something like that. Being in like the workspace, like it's not going to work. Would I want that one day? Maybe. Yeah, I think they're dope personally, but I think I'd probably start off somewhere on like my back or like my like chest, because like that's really the least exposed place.
And we're trying to get all into the media industry, and no one wants to see tats on your neck or on your hands. Like if I was gonna get one, like it would be either here on my forearm, here on the bicep, maybe stuff that's like, if I'm wearing a t-shirt, again, if I'm going to be trying to get in the industry, trying to be on air, I'm wearing a suit. No one's going to see any of this stuff.
Yeah.
You know? So I would go with as far as here, but again, nothing on the hands, nothing like that.
Yeah, I think it has to be like hidden, I think, or not hidden, but like you should be able to hide it, I think.
Yeah.
If you want to get into certain industries.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the people that have a tattoo, if you're looking at it, Mitch.
But Mark, do you have a tattoo?
No, I do not have a tattoo. Maybe in the future I will have a tattoo.
I know.
Some of the people, they say, oh, well, this guy's a tattoo, but he was a rapper before, or this guy has a tattoo, but he's a basketball player before. You know what I mean? So that LeBron has tattoos. Like, okay, but sometimes people will look at you in the industry differently, and it's just the way that life is. If a guy in sport media, if I walked into sport media next year, had a freaking neck tattoo right here, they're gonna be like, "What the hell happened, bro?"
Yeah.
Like, it's not because the neck tattoo didn't look nice. It's just how society works. Is it right?
I think society's changing, though. I think it is changing. Because here's the thing, especially, and we talked about this again with Jesse's episode. He talked about this cookie cutter sports industry. A broadcaster can't have like nothing wrong with them. They wear a suit. They sound the same. Everyone sounds the same. Like there's no creativity with it. Maybe their voice is different, but really that's it. I feel like the industry's changing. Like as we get into more streaming, more digital media kind of thing, digital broadcasting, whatever. There's going to be people with like tattoos. There's going to be people with like not have to wear a suit when they do a broadcast or
with some personality.
Exactly.
That's what it comes down to.
It's going to come down to that. I think that's going to become a lot bigger than it is right now. It just depends on when it is.
I agree with that. Like, I think the thing is too, like as a society as a whole, like the issue, like with the way that like we're perceived is like, we have to stay in this like perfect mold. We can't break it. We can't do anything like beyond our creativity. We can't look a certain way. There's a certain way they always want you to look. And it's like, it's slowly getting to that point now where like people are starting to appreciate it more, tattoos and like the placement of them. But like just the way that society is, and like the way even like the older people are, because as millennials, as becoming millennials, we'll be in that point where like, yes, we want to start doing things that we want to do the way we want to look. Like at the end of the day, our like the way we perceive ourselves and our appearance is the number one priority. What people think about us shouldn't be, but unfortunately it's gonna be like that for a while.
But that actually brings up a good point, because I don't know if you guys saw, I'm guessing all of us are on Instagram. Like we're not like under a whole, but Instagram changed their policy for Canada, and going back to likes, you can see how many people likes.
I think it's an option.
It's an option,
right? Like it's an option you can turn on or off.
It's an option now, but the default is likes are showing now.
Yeah,
and you have to go turn it off.
Ooh.
You know, and to me, it's like, okay, well, No, I liked, I know Canada was like the few countries that you could not see likes. Like a US, you saw likes. It wasn't anything, like you saw how many likes each photo got. In Canada, you didn't have to see anything. You saw, oh, your friend and this person liked it.
Yeah.
That is, I think, the correct way to go. Because I think
like that.
get too crazy with the statistics. And even me, like on TikTok, view counts. Just to see the view, people can see the view count. If it doesn't pop off, I'm not going to keep it on my page, you know? It shouldn't have to be like that. But for some reason, I feel like I have to keep that because, again, it's a number. So I think they should have never done. I think they should have kept it as just, you can't see likes. What do you guys think?
Another thing I think Instagram should start doing, capping off some of these like comments or stuff like that. And I've said it like obviously about the likes and stuff like that, and it's very good, but certain comments, and this is sort of maybe shifting into a different conversation, I don't know, but it's just a conversation that has to be had, is that a lot of the hate speech on Instagram, all these platforms, it needs to change. And you're not telling me that Instagram, like a massive corporation, like places like Twitter, TikTok, they can't stop hate speech or stuff like that within, or stop certain keywords that are used in different comment sections.
TikTok's really good at that. Like, really good. You can't say anything. You can't say sex on TikTok. You have to put it SEGG.
Yeah.
Liam, don't you agree that sometimes that these places like Instagram, Twitter, they should have more stricter policies? Because you've seen from many celebrities complaining about athletes, complaining about fans doing too much on Twitter, these social medias, and then what they say when they're in person, even where's that same energy?
Okay, but that's the price of fame. That's what comes with fame. You want to be famous. You want to be rich. You have power when you have fame as well. You're gonna get hate. That's just how it is. Nobody is universally loved. You're gonna get hate. You're gonna have people talking stuff. But that, I think, as society, we need to learn to have thick skin too. Like, we can't be just soft people. Like how, Mark, you talk about the NBA now. Like, everyone's soft because everyone calls it. You know, if we start doing that, we start censoring shit, like censoring everything, it's gonna cause a lot more problems with our mental health. I think, at least, you know.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. Like I think like a lot of people do, like, even when they post on social media, a lot of people are posting, like, even myself, bro, I'm not gonna lie, like when I post a picture on Instagram, like I'm doing it for validation to an extent. And so I think, like, realistically, like comments and like no matter what someone comments on the post, that's their opinion at the end of the day, and you have to respect that. So like, yes, censorship is good to an extent where, like, if somebody's not mentally healthy and you're still kind of pushing it, then yeah, that's really, like, that's not a good thing. It's super negative, and it's just, you know what, it leads to worse problems, mental problems for people. So in my opinion, like, yeah, I think censorship right now is kind of good where it's at. Like, let people comment, let them speak their mind. Because even this whole thing, like, I'm not going to get into politics here. Like, I don't want to do that. But I'm just talking about the whole Israeli, like, Palestinian thing that's going on. Like, that itself is just, like, it is blown out of proportion just because of social media. And now, like, people that I knew that were friends are, like, not even talking because of that stuff.
And it's also harmful because you have people that aren't educated on a certain thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That are just posting things on their story because it's trending and it's what people are doing. And I think that's wrong.
I saw one person, this isn't even anything political. They were at the Palestine thing in Toronto. They posted it, and it was like a celebration, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm like, exactly.
Like, it's like, I literally could have put the Raptors championship parade, and then I put the Palestine parade, and you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know what the difference is.
Exactly.
And it's like, are you doing it because you actually support the cause and understand what's going on and the years of struggle and pain and suffering that's been there? Or are you doing it because your friends are there? It seems like it's lit. You want to get out of the house. But sometimes it's better to say less and do less. Focus more on yourself before you focus on other issues that are even beyond whatever you could comprehend before that starts.
Like, it's all about understanding what it is. Cause like, I'm not trying to get into this at all.
Yeah, no, me neither.
I don't know the conflict, but I just know that the conflict between Palestine and Israel has been going on for a while.
Yeah, a long time.
And it's been a long time. So I don't know. I'm not saying like what's happening. I do not agree with. I think it's some crazy stuff that I don't really want to get into, but I don't know the full story of this. So again, who knows what's gonna happen? I think that's just a good point to bring out because I think we all feel the same way.
It's gonna be a bit different. It's not attached to that topic, but I wanted to get you guys' thoughts.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yesterday, I was watching a movie with my girlfriend. What movie was that? It was The Incredibles.
Fire movie.
It's very good. You know, very timely.
Fire movie.
Avengers is out right now. what is it? Justice League, Snyder cuts. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff in that thing. And you think Incredibles linking that to that, it was sort of the start of something there. So Liam, I'll ask you first.
Yeah.
If there was one animated movie or one live action movie that you'd like to see maybe have an animated take on it, what would you pick?
Ooh, that is a tough one. So we're talking like Disney movie kind of thing?
Yeah, it could be any movie, like a live action movie. Like for my instance, so it's easier for you, I picked The Purge. If The Purge were to be made into like maybe a limited animated series, like an adult animated series, I think that could have the potential to blow up 100% because you'd have political things in a sort of animated setting. You'd have violence, stuff like that, sort of what they do with in animes like Death Note, stuff like that. Could see it really popping off. But my boy Mitch, on the other hand, he doesn't rate what I say. I already know he doesn't rate what I say.
No, I don't, Mark. You're right. I don't agree with it. And it's not that I don't like animation at all, because animation is great. I'm not saying it's not, but there's a reason why you look at Disney and they have all their animations going to live action. They're not having any live action going to animation.
Yeah.
You know, there's a reason for that. And it's just because live action, to me, is just better. Like, I'm not a big anime guy, just the section of anime. Like, the only reason why animation happens is because you don't have the technology, or the technology's not out to do what you, in your mind, your creativity. You can't do that in live action. You don't have the resources to do that. So, like, for instance, I'm a big fan of the Clone Wars on Disney Plus, the Star Wars thing. You can't have a 7-season battle war in live action. You just can't do that. That would take like 10 years to film. Like, you just can't do that. So making it an animation, a lot cheaper, and you can get everything you want from it, which is the only reason. That's like the only animation TV show wise that I like.
That's
and
true.
of course Family Guy and stuff, which that comes on its own like that. But yes, that's my choice of that.
That's a good point. Yeah, like Mitch said, like when you change from going from anime to live action, like what you can do is still limited to an extent. Like for me, my answer to your point, Mark, would have probably been like The Dark Knight or one of those classic Christian Bale Batman series. Those were insane. Like those were so good that I think for animated, maybe like you make it for a younger audience too, target a younger audience, but like an animated Dark Knight would be insane. Like with Bane or like whoever they want to do, like Christian Bale killed that series, like absolutely killed it. Like I think when they switched to Ben Affleck, they kind of ruined it.
They lost everything when they went to because it started a whole new universe. That's what you have to enjoy about, and we talked about last podcast with DiMicco. You know, shout out. We're just plugging Jesse episode here, DiMicco episode here, but Nolan had that vision and that plan, and you're right. It would look sick as an animated tale because it's a story that is going to lend itself, no matter what you want to do, it animated, you want to do a live action, you want to do a painting, it's still going to be sick because of the story behind it.
Definitely. I actually have one that I think would be a lot better if it was animated. Just because, like Mitch was saying, you could do more with it. So my favorite animated movie is Into the Spider-Verse. I think the way they did it, it was such a cool movie. It was awesome.
Good one.
The thing about it is that, you know, you have like interdimensional stuff. That's hard to do live action. They're going to try to do it apparently live action, but it's hard to do. One movie that I think could be done in a similar style where it's super mind bending with all these cool graphics is The Matrix. Imagine The Matrix and all those, like, you know, all those crazy moves animated with, like, you know, all kinds of stuff. You can do so much more with it. It totally makes you do so much more.
But does that wreck it though? Because The Matrix making it live action is what made it so cool though. Because that stuff you could get in animation. I think it takes away.
It's down to the vision, Mitch. It's down to the vision.
Yeah, it depends who's making it.
Just like how you remake a film. There's a perfect example here. There was a remake of the movie Psycho. Do you guys know the movie Psycho, right?
Yep.
It's like 1960s Alfred Hitchcock classic movie. No, you don't know that, Mitch?
The one with the girl in the shower and the
comes in like this,
and she screams.
Oh, okay. Well, I know that scene, but I don't know like.
Okay,
it's iconic.
Yeah, iconic movie. A lot of people know about this movie, and when they were remaking that, they remade it in 1997 with Vince Vaughn. But what did they do in that movie? They did a shot-for-shot remake. They made it exactly the same exact way that Hitchcock made it, but it was stale because we've seen that before. So in that Dark Knight, I'm pretty sure, Liam, you could attest to this. Would you have made some changes to the Dark Knight in the animated version, or would you just make it the exact same?
See, like, I think the issue becomes when you move to animated, and like you have more creativity and you have more like free, like you can do anything you want, but to an extent that's like, I don't really like that, because here's the thing, like I don't want Batman to be like flying by himself. He can't do that. He's a normal guy at the end of the day. I don't want Batman to be jumping building to building. I just want to keep it the exact same storyline. If I were to switch it, it would be the exact same storyline with exception to a few different like things here and there.
I got a good example of what I think what would happen if like movies that have been goated go into animation. It'd be like the Fast and Furious franchises.
Yeah.
You know,
It's an animation at this point.
But like that's what I'm saying. They're going into space.
I don't like it.
Next one.
Yeah.
They're
I don't
going
like
into
it.
space. In the solo one with Hobbs and Shaw, The Rock is holding a helicopter down.
That's no,
It's so stupid.
no,
How
it's
does it
so
go from, how does it
stupid.
go from street racing in LA, super cool, to now they're superheroes? Where does that
Yeah,
come from?
so like it's, you know what I'm
And
saying? Like
that's why that series is dead. It's dead now because
Yeah, it's dead.
all the people know
I
what's
don't think it will ever be dead.
It still
And
makes
that-
money
I
though.
think-
How can it be dead if it still
Because
makes
people are
that much
watching
money?
because people watching the classics, man. They killed the culture.
They,
Yeah,
they
definitely,
killed
definitely.
the culture on it, but the thing is too, like we talked about this too, icons. The death of Paul Walker, tragic as it is, like I wish he was still with us. It helped Fast and Furious a lot.
It helped bring that buzz back. But then again, give your credit back to Fast Five, because when The Rock did come back into the franchise, he sort of invigorated it after the Fast and Furious. And
Fast Five was like the last good one.
because
That
a
was
lot
the
of
best
people,
one.
I see every single girl I see on set, like 14, 15, like my girlfriend's sister, they're watching Fast and Furious. They're like, oh my God, I'm the biggest Fast and Furious fan, because it's sort of like, there's no other street racing movie that's been good. So that's the one that you go to. Liam, we've been loving having you on. And
Yeah, bro.
you've been obviously a super sick guest. I love the vibes that you're giving. You're matching our energies.
Amazing.
Yeah, matching the energies. And we wanted to bring on a game because Liam, you look like you're a very game type of guy. You're always rearing ready to go. I remember
Let's do it.
funny story. Me and Liam were in London at his
Whoa,
house.
whoa, wait. What story is this, bro?
Oh, this is
Mark, man.
You
story.
can't be
bring
exposing
up
party
stuff.
stories.
This is a good story. This is a good story. It's like Liam, he wakes up. I'm like, where's Liam? He's like, he's on a walk. He's on an hour walk. And Liam, it's like, where's he going? He's alpine skiing. He's doing basketball. So I have a game for you, and it's called the Millie. Now, when I said the Millie, Liam then texted me back. So I said, Liam, we're talking. I'm like, yo, Liam, come on the podcast, this, that, and the other. And he's like, yo, what's the Millie? It's like, we're talking about the Millie Rock. What's going on? We're talking about like Meek Mill. Like, I'm like, no,
Wayne.
we have a bit of a surprise for you. So the Millie, for the podcast fans, our loyal 302 subscribers, keep it going. They know what the Millie is. The Millie is my sort of game, and it's a news segment where I bring up things in the news that are happening, and I ask you a question based off that, and we can spark a little discussion. Not meant to be too long. I'll usually, if somebody else has something to say about it, let's say I ask Liam the thing, and then somebody has something to say about it, that's fine. But we'll go from there. So I have 6 topics in the news today, and they're the Millie. So I'm going to start off with Liam.
Okay.
So Liam, Friends on HBO Max is coming back with a reunion. It premiered last night as of recording this episode. Friends is obviously one of the main sitcoms of the 90s, along with Friends, Seinfeld, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But I want to know for you, Liam, what is the best sitcom of all time?
Ooh,
That's a tough
sitcom, bro. Give me some examples of sitcoms. Other sitcoms.
We got How I Met Your Mother possibly making its way in. We got Seinfeld, as I mentioned before.
Brooklyn
Office.
Nine-Nine is a good one. The
The
Office.
The Office.
Ooh. I think The Office got to be the best one, man. To be honest, I think that's goated. I think that is so goated, man. Like I don't think anything's gonna beat it. There's something about The Office compared to the other sitcoms that like just separated it. Like I don't know any, like the thing is sitcoms like generally target a certain age group to an extent. Not The Office. Like I knew like kids watching The Office. Like my parents tried to watch The Office. Like it was probably the like most well-known sitcom for the longest time.
You gotta respect How I Met Your Mother, though. Some life lessons, barring.
How I Met Your Mother's fire, but The Office set the mold for these workplace sitcoms. Brooklyn
for sure.
Nine-Nine.
I agree.
Parks and
I agree with the
Rec, all
topic, but
came
I just
from
want
The
to
Office.
mention. I just want to mention How I Met Your Mother had. You learn a couple things from that. Just
Oh, Mitch, I'm about to disappoint you, man. I've never watched How I Met Your Mother.
Ooh. I think that's essential viewing right there, Liam. I think everyone's gotta watch it.
Funny as hell. It's funny. It's funny. It's really good. You gotta watch it.
I know.
Bet.
A lot of people like How I Met Your Mother. Well, next on the thing, we're gonna go over to Frankie and the Millie.
All right.
Frankie, Julio Jones is demanding a trade from the Atlanta Falcons, and he wants to get out of that losing franchise. I understand. So, Frankie, knowing that Julio Jones is demanding a trade, who is somebody in any sport that should demand a trade right now?
Right now? Okay, there's one guy that I think is on the top. There's two guys for two different sports. Number one, I think, for all the basketball fans out there, Damian Lillard, one of the greatest point guards. And don't get me wrong, he's loyal. I get it. But no one else in that league is loyal. All he's going to do by staying in Portland is he's going to go and retire without winning a championship. Right now, while he's still good, I don't want to see him, when he's 38 trying to ring chase coming off the bench. Right now, as he's still getting buckets, he should be on a championship team getting a ring. And number two, another guy, shout out to my hockey fans out there, Connor McDavid, the greatest player in the league right now, the best player. I don't want to hear anyone else say he's not. He's definitely the best player in the league right now. Has no help around him, like no help. Every time he doesn't score, they lose. He has to go to a good team with a decent supporting cast. Even a decent supporting cast will get the job done with him.
Frankie,
yes.
Would you trade Austin Matthews for Connor McDavid?
I would absolutely hate it because I love Austin Matthews. But as a Leaf fan, 100%, if that trade is on the table, you bring Connor McDavid to Toronto. Toronto boy, you bring him in.
Now we're gonna go over to the Mitch in the Millie.
The Mitch?
Yeah.
The Mitch doing the Millie.
You do know what a Mitch stands for, right? Okay. You know what it stands for.
Yeah. Well, Mitch, data speeds have been a problem as of late in Mississauga. I've known a lot of people that have had problems.
Liam gets TV shows. Frank gets sports. Data speed.
Use your brain, Mitch.
Listen to the question. Listen to the explanation, and then you're gonna get your good question. Don't worry. I give you a good question. So Rogers, Bell, all this stuff have been having problems with their Wi-Fi and stuff like this. So Mitch, I'm gonna ask you this question: should Wi-Fi be a universal right?
A universal right?
Yes. Is everybody should everybody have the same access to Wi-Fi? Because you look at it, this is just me prefacing the question. You look at it, everything needs Wi-Fi. You go to school, you need Wi-Fi. You go to work, you need Wi-Fi. You gotta get the map, you gotta know where you're going. Everything in life, you need Wi-Fi, but not everybody has it.
I'm gonna think of that. I'm gonna answer this a way that's not because obviously, yes. Would I want that? Yes. Would I think it'd be beneficial for everyone? Yes. But I think there's other things that we need that should be universal before Wi-Fi.
Like what? Like in Canada, what do you have before? Because we have a lot of privileges.
That's what I'm saying.
Rights here in Canada.
But when he says universal, I was thinking of like the whole world.
Okay.
But in Canada,
I think
in Canada, they should just cut the stupid cell phone because we have the worst plans in the entire world. I think all of our money comes from that because all of our plans are like $100, like $100 a month. Like it's crazy stuff. We have the worst plan. So yes, I would want that in Canada because then that saves some money. I don't have to go buy data. I don't have to buy a big phone plan. Like it helps out a lot. And I don't need to have reception. If I have Wi-Fi everywhere I go, I'll just FaceTime you. Don't need anything else.
Next on the Millie, I'm going to go to Frankie to this. The order should be Liam, but since this is more of a Frankie question, I'll give it to Frankie. Frankie, right. The Champions League final is being played Saturday, May 29th, with Manchester City playing Chelsea. The typical question I would ask is if Manchester City or Chelsea would win, but that's not what I'm going to ask you. What I'm going to ask, if you had a dream final that you could make in the game of hockey, not hockey, my bad, in the game of soccer, what would it be?
Ooh, are we talking club soccer?
Club soccer, World Cup. You're allowed to do anything. I know Mitch is probably, we'll say World Cup, Dream World Cup final, 2022. What is it going to be?
There's definitely a bit of bias here, considering that, I'm Italian. But I think one thing that I would absolutely love to see, not including Italy in all this, is imagine this. Argentina against Portugal, Ronaldo versus Messi, like GOAT versus GOAT, like, the two best players of our time competing in the biggest game.
Storyline. I like that.
Biggest stage.
That's storyline on the exactly.
Ratings through the roof.
Stage.
Ratings through the roof.
Do you know how many people that would bring in? And then just like that would end any debates about like winner of that game. That settles who's the best player of this generation.
And you don't get that. You never get to see the two GOATs go at it in the World Cup final, nonetheless.
Yeah, the biggest stage, that would be unreal. Everyone would watch that around the world.
More topics left on the Millie here. Next up, we're gonna go back to Liam. Liam, Summer 2K21 has the potential to be one of the best years in music's history. We have J. Cole dropping the offseason. Travis Scott possibly going to drop Utopia. We don't know in the fall, maybe in the summer. Drake has Certified Lover Boy coming out. Lil Durk and Lil Baby are coming out with an album. Liam, I'm going to ask you, does 2K21 have the chance to be the best year in music? Yes or no?
Okay, well, here's the thing, bro. 2016 and 2017 were arguably like insane. Like, I don't think you can match that. So like, here's the thing though. Justin Bieber's album that he dropped already, fire, so good. The Weeknd stuff that he dropped last year was also solid. But the thing is, Drake and Travis Scott, when they drop things, let's say Uzi comes out with something too, I think this could be the second biggest, but nothing in my opinion could top 2016.
So for the audience at home, maybe they don't know, like a lot of people, my mom obviously, like, you just said Lil Uzi, she thinks we're talking about guns, but you know what I mean? What are some people that what were the tracks that dropped in 2016 on top of your head?
Okay, let me get it. I know for a fact, I think
Views dropped, I think.
I know for sure.
I think I'm pretty sure The Way Life Goes came out in 2016 with Lil Uzi. Wait, let me find it right now.
Did Rodeo come out in 2016?
I think that was 2015.
Ooh, Rodeo with Travis Scott, right?
Yeah, I think someone told me that was 2015 off the top of my head. But I feel like it was big in 20. I think it was big in 2016, so it's considered like that 2016 year of music.
Mark, Mitch's
2016
iconic jam came out in 2016 too.
Which jam is that?
Why are you singing all the time?
Oh, the one that did Uncut Gems?
Closer in the back.
Oh.
Yeah, bro, dude. Okay, yeah, 2016 was Birds in the Trap with Travis Scott. That was a banger.
That was good. Yeah.
Views. I'm pretty sure that around this time, it was like, I think Drake and Future maybe dropped that. I think that was 2015 though.
Best collabs, man.
That era.
Blonde by Frank Ocean came out in 2016.
Yeah, it's a huge one.
The Life of Pablo, Coloring Books by Chance.
Nothing beats that year. Nothing beats that year.
Yeah, I'm looking at the songs here too. There's some like songs that hold up. Like I listen to these songs still now.
Exactly. Like they're timeless songs. 2016 has timeless songs. Like you can listen to that Life of Pablo album all the time.
One last topic on the Millie that is going to be brought up, and it's going to go to Mitch. Now, Mitch has criticized my last one, but this one I think you will like a bit better.
All right, let's hear it.
So, Mitch, according to a study, I don't know who it was done by, but it was a study. And I found it on Twitter. So it was trending. So it's a study. If you...
Where are you going with this?
Mark just butchered that.
All right, let me rephrase it. According to a study, if the normal male, adult male, so that's 18 to 49.
Mark, you're gonna say it? Just say it.
18 to 49. If you jerk off twice a week, your life expectancy is said to go up 20%. So Mitch,
really?
I know it's very insane. So Mitch, I'm gonna ask you this question: jerking off, taboo or needed in life? You let me know.
Needed.
Did you see there was a workplace that had like designated masturbation times? I think it was in like China or something.
No way. Okay.
Yeah, they had like their own room and stuff. Like,
bro, that's so smart.
Because the lady thought that it increased productivity.
Yeah, dude, that's so smart, man.
How awkward it is walking out of that room.
That's what I'm saying.
The whole office just looking at what you just did.
Okay, but let's be real. They probably don't. Okay, this is like. Okay,
it's like going into a sperm bank or like getting your like sperm tested. Like you don't want to be seen there. Like I'm here for my deposit. Like why would you want? I wouldn't want like a room. I'm not saying my room, but is it needed? Yes, it is needed. Like it is needed.
Liam, what were you saying though? I know Liam had something funny to say.
I was gonna say some stupid shit, man. Like I'm just gonna avoid saying that so I don't get any hate after this. But like what I was gonna say is like, no, it's definitely necessary. Like whether like schedule times, okay, that's weird, bro. I personally don't have like any sort of routine. Like it's kind of just one of those things where like it's human nature. You have to do it. But like if 2 times is gonna make my life expectancy, what would you say it was?
Yeah, it's raised by 20%.
Well, then mine's going to be like 60%. Mine's going to be raised by like 60%, bro.
Again, this is a Twitter one. So
because like who tested that? Like who said, oh, how many times? Okay, 2? Okay, I'm going to come back when you die. We'll see how much longer. Like,
but who does
That's true.
How do you know when someone dies? Like, how do you know when someone was supposed to die? Like,
no, life expectancy. So the average age someone dies in the country. And then like people that do it more than 2 times a day. And how far over they died that life.
I don't know how the census was.
Who tested that? That's what I want.
There was definitely a lot of lies on the census, possibly, but I'm only here providing you the news, and that is the Millie. And I hope you guys enjoyed that game of the Millie. What'd you think of that, Liam?
That was insane, man. Yo, this podcast slapped, man. This was insane. I was so happy to be here, man. I came in live. This is the highlight of my day. You guys have something crazy going on here, and I'm just gonna like, as a fan and somebody who's now been on the podcast, like I'm gonna keep supporting you guys because this is something that, like, honestly, like you guys can really blow this up. You keep pushing, this will blow up 100%. Keep banging the reels, keep making these videos, and like you're gonna get people. People like listening to this stuff, and you guys have good questions. So like, man, I appreciate it 100%.
Look at that.
Mark, I think we have a new super fan. I think.
Yeah, and you know what? I think it's gonna have to be like a tradition to just bring on Liam. Like, we gotta bring him on like once a season.
Yeah, bro.
He needs to come on. He has to show up at Ryerson when we're in studio with all.
In studio, you gotta pull up.
In studio.
Have you sit down, man? We'll have a nice discussion.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
We'll get some whiskey flowing and we'll get the conversation going, baby.
Definitely.
Well, I hope everybody watching at home, I hope you enjoyed. If you're watching this on YouTube, I want you to like, comment, subscribe, do all that. If you're watching on Spotify, download that. Do whatever you have to do. TikTok, follow. Instagram, follow. Just support the boys. As Liam said, we got to keep pushing this. COVID's a tough time, but we're here to discussion, and this was a beautiful discussion today. Got to thank my producer, Frank the Tank Torno, Mitchell Cares over there, host. Liam, again, thank you. And until next time,
let's go.
Keep it classy.
That's your line?
It's not my line, Mitch. I don't know. I'm trying to find a line, bro.
He's trying to figure out a line spell.
Have a marvelous day. How about that?
That's better.
Have a marvelous day.
Mark just turns into Anchorman. Keep it classy, San Diego.
Keep it classy, YouTube.